What's up? This is Let's Write Tonight. I'm trying it a little bit different today. I've actually got WoW pulled up and I've disabled the silly music, so hopefully this is a little bit more tolerable for you. So what I'm doing is I'm writing this character's backstory, Sal'journ, Deepriver. And I'm a little over 73 pages in, and the goal is to finish this novel by this summer. I write Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. And I would love for you to join me here. If you've got your own story, feel free to hit me up in the comments. But otherwise, let's get it after it. I am continuing on Chapter 4. And if you happen to be in game and you check in on me, say hi. Yesterday I spent the day working on the cover for the story, and I am really happy with how I think it might turn out. We shall see. So what I'm doing is I'm describing Hearthglen Keep. And this was the fortress I was at last night. I'm not putting a lot of effort into the descriptive imagery. Instead, trying to focus on plot and establishing important elements of the story first, and then going forward, as I come back to re-edit the story on like my second go through, then I'll add the descriptive language and the really visual imagery. But for now, it's just about pressing forward. So quick research. These guys talking at me? I hope not. What do you want? Hey, thanks for the follow. What you doing? I'm working on a Sal'journ's backstory here. Are you in game? Or are you just hanging out? Um, I want to say they're coming up on releasing the next expansion patch here soon. Or not expansion, but yeah, definitely a new patch. So if you were to join, they're about to start the whole new, arena season and stuff, so it wouldn't be a bad time to start. It's super easy to get, caught up and to start playing with other people. So you wouldn't miss out. You'd be in the game right away. Have you not played before? Yeah, it's fun. It's addicting. Where I'm at right now, I'm in the Horde capital, Orgrimmar. A lot of people just hang out here. It's kind of like a chat room, basically. You got everyone talking right there. But the game is just endless stuff to do. It's kind of overwhelming if you try to do it all. They're actually coming out with player housing here in a bit, so people have been begging for that for years. I think Ashes of Creation sort of kicked it into gear for them. I've been working on this chapter for a little over 2 weeks now. So if you didn't know, whoops, in WoW there's a mod called TRP, and it's a player-made mod. But the point is that rather than just seeing other people's characters, they'll actually create stories based on their character. So, for instance, this person here, like I can look at her character and it'll actually like have her, like players will create their own stories for their characters, right? And that's where I got this idea, was to actually turn my character's little story into an actual book, because it was honestly the story for me as I wrote it. It was pretty moving, so it's like, you know what, this would probably make a good standalone story someday. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking that, condensing it into an actual book, and that'll be my first first fiction. Yeah. Yeah, the game itself is awesome, but it's the gameplay amongst other players that makes it worth continuing to play on, because everyone's got their own little story, and groups will put, it's basically like Dungeons and Dragons, so to speak. People will put together little events with like scripted scenarios, and people have to roll for their reactions to certain things, and it literally has nothing to do with the game's mechanics. It's completely player driven, so it's a lot of fun. That's what's kept me playing it since, gosh, 2006. Yeah, but I'm not like hardcore. You know, I peaked back in 2008, 2009 during Wrath of the Lich King. Ever since then, you know, life gets in the way. I don't have time to play 6 hours a day, so now I'm just hanging out. The fuck? I don't even know what that was. But the game here, I'll show you. So kind of hard because it's all hidden. The game's got, it tracks like your progress throughout your playtime and like individual achievements. You know, like all the time I've played, I'm still barely halfway complete with the achievements that are possible in the game. So, like I said, endless content. Try it out. It's free. You know, for the first like 30 levels or something. Just download it, make a free account, and it'll let you at least play some of the content. Um, $15 a month. It's kind of, I think 15 nowadays is probably pretty fair. They haven't raised their price despite everything else getting more expensive. So right now in Sal's story, I'm trying to. It's tough to like writing fiction is tough, especially when you have this grand plot in mind. Because I have Sal'journ and his personality as he is, but I have to kind of like regress him for this portion of the story because I need to establish this like low level baseline of his behavior and attitude so that as the story progresses, he matures. So I'm having to kind of like reverse engineer this character that I've played forever, and it's tricky. Yeah, I think it's level 20, and I want to say you start in the Dragonflight expansion, so you go straight into like the newest mechanics and stuff. It's a really pretty expansion. Yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think. If you play Alliance, I'll be forced to judge you a little bit, but I'll get over it. I'm hung up on this damn chapter. I wrote it poorly. So I'm having to like, what do I need and what don't I need? For reals, for the longest time this last week, I swear my word count didn't go up because I was just deleting and editing words I already had. And sometimes when I do this, I'll actually go down in total word count because I'll just compress whole paragraphs. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back sort of stuff. But it's okay, I'm 73 pages in, so there's progress, albeit slow. Nah, I only do this for an hour a day, so I tried writing for like 3 hours at a time on weekends. It just doesn't work. It gets tedious. You spend a lot of time trying to remember what you were writing last time. 1 hour a day is the right pace. If this music's grating on you, let me know. Usually I'm streaming by myself, so if it's like super bad, I'll just turn it off. I used to have Spotify playing, but the audio is so trash when it comes through the stream that it's just not worth playing. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, for a silly little World of Warcraft roleplay story, it's not bad, right? I used to try to cram it into his TRP, but players would tell me it wouldn't even load on their screen because it had so much text. So it's like, all right, whatever. You'll just get my prelude. I am having to like revisualize everything about this scene right here. It's kind of clunky. It's not really flowing the way I would like it to. What I'm really trying to do in this story is to avoid info dumping, and I'm just trying to like pepper context and history and descriptions throughout the narrative just so that the reader gradually builds a picture of what's going on without getting just, you know, J.R.R. Tolkien into oblivion with multiple page descriptions of blades of grass. It is not easy because fitting in facts and disguising them as relevant to what's being talked about with like an ulterior informative motive is tricky. This is my first novel, so I'm learning as I go. Yeah, see here I mentioned like fully grown Tauren. And I just kind of leave the reader hanging until I finally mention what that means down here. So really this is out of order. This is what I need to do. Here we go. Boom. All right, so here we go. Now I'm actually describing what Sal looks like here. Let's see. Dangerously close to like dabbling in lore that I really have no interest in expanding on for the reader. So it's like, do I even want to mention it? Like, what does Saronite mean to someone who doesn't play WoW? Sorry about my resting bee face. I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. This is going to be one of those chapters. So, the chapter prior to this, I think I ended up spending 5 weeks on it, working Monday through Friday for an hour. This is going to be one of those chapters. Just because I'm trying to do so much and so little, but I need it to make sense. My cat's trying to break in. Oh, I wonder if there's a Forsaken event going on. That's what these NPCs are. Cool. Might have to play this later. You gotta let me know what class you decide to play if you're downloading it. My two main characters are the Death Knight and the Priest. I play a Discipline Priest, and then the Death Knight I play all three of his classes. His subclasses, I should say. mess. Ugh. Bruh. There's definitely a Forsaken event going on. I wonder what gear drops from that. Don't know. Usually when they have special events, they'll have special loot drops that are typically only available during that event. So it's kind of cool to see people collect certain unique items that sort of speak to how long they've been playing. I missed the 20th anniversary armor set. It's kind of sucks, but it was a grueling event too. It was not particularly fun. It was a grind. think we got almost another 100 words in today. It's not bad, but that doesn't count all the editing that's been done, so pretty good. And I'm actually really happy with the progress that was made here specifically. It was a lot of editing, but it needed to be done for sure. Uh-oh. Oh, he's alive. I'll have to clean this up later. It's clunky. It just doesn't flow right. you're ever writing, make sure you save your work. All right, well, that's an hour for me, man. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the writing bit. I have a lot to think about over the weekend for this stuff right here. Because again, this is like an early chapter in the story. I've got so many pages written, but it's because I've jumped between chapters that I'm writing. So because I'm working on an earlier chapter in the story, I'm still establishing that baseline I told you about. And so there's a lot of like backstory and context that I want readers to learn about this character or kind of grow to expect certain behaviors from this character. And trying to introduce those characteristics in a fluid manner that isn't forced is very difficult. What's this guy doing? Nerubian remnants, it's badass. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up. So if you come hang out later, I do this Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, the goal is to take this story and to turn it into a book by the end of this summer. So that's what this is all about. If you ever thought about writing a story or you had something on your mind that you wanted to finish, or you just want to hang out and play WoW with me, that's awesome. But I hope to see you next time. I'm going to log out for the night, but I will see you later. Bye-bye.